left-hand corner in the grand finals of the WardiTV 2023 Championship, the blue Terran player, GuMiho. Bottom right, our red Zerg from Dragon, Kaizi Gaming. It is dark. Well, we saw in an earlier series, GuMiho did not get much done early in the games. Dark took control, and while there was a bit of back and forth, I would generally say that Dark was absolutely the player who was able to just come out looking on top in pretty much every one of those situations. GuMiho makes his way back through the lower bracket finals, back to this grand final. Dark will have a 1-0 lead because of how that went. Little fun interaction as the games got going as they vetoed. So the veto process was GuMiho was A, Dark was B. So GuMiho did 2 vetoes, Dark did 1 veto, which means that essentially GuMiho gets to veto one of the maps that Dark's map win comes from, essentially. So if this was a best of 7, say they get 1 veto each, GuMiho's extra veto is basically saying, hey Dark, that's the map you won on. And then Dark, once they vetoed, Dark was like, hey, why me B? Question mark, question mark. And I'm like, well, you already have a 1-0 lead, Dark. He's like, dot, dot, dot. And I was like, if you want, I can give GuMiho 1-0 lead, and you can have an extra veto. And Dark was like, no, Terran too good already. So, some fun at the start of the series. These guys in good spirits as we get going, and we are going to go that gasless style once again from Dark that allows you to get the nice fast hatchery down on the 3rd base. So that gets to come in pretty much straight away here, no problems at all. Seeing our Reaper is going to come out down to the bottom right hand side. It's just going to go a little bit of a journey over there. I'm going to see GuMiho looking to scout in these early stages, so we'll follow this through here for this opening map. Once again, Dark want to know because of the winner bracket advantage. Let's see the Reaper jumping onto the first drone there. Couple things coming about. Reaper will be chased. I'm going to be seeing a cancel right there as well on one of the spores. We just see the Reaper continue to fight in. After a couple of those lings, drone's still taking some damage as well, so we fight our way through a bit of that. As we have, well, in the end, the cancel comes through and the Reaper goes down and nothing was actually lost. So pretty darn good if your name is going to be Dark in this game. You knock down one Reaper and you don't lose anything to start with. I think you generally take those traits. And already a good start for Dark as here on Oceanborn. This is GuMiho's first map pick out of everything that we see. The map pick being Oceanborn is obviously fairly notable as well. I was just going to see those couple Marines going to fight against those Zerglings. But yes, just going to be seeing the map pick being Oceanborn. He clearly feels this is his best chance at winning the map outside of the veto, which I believe was Hecate. The 1 veto from Dark. That's pretty much the go-to veto from Zerg players in the ZvT, it seems, as of late. Leading up to Katowice, of course, in a couple of weeks' time. Rotron coming through, additional extractors coming about. And Marine's going to find this Overlord. We float the barracks to get the Overlord kill. Well, that's nice to get the Overlord kill, but it comes at the investment of having that barracks floating across for a little bit. So obviously, that is an investment that does take a little bit of time away from the barracks being able to build or add on additional add-ons, for example, etc., etc. So I definitely think that has a factor to play. And Rotron coming up. You see the Banshee getting its cloak on the way through as well, so we continue to bring that up also, just for the moment. Obviously, with the Banshee coming out, that will help a lot against these roaches that Dark currently has on the way. So, fun to see how much that comes into play indeed, as that Queen's going to fire against a few Hellions. There is, again, starting already. The few extra roaches coming through. The drones in production. Stimpack and cloaking on the way out. Banshee is about to complete. Well, the Italians will just pull back as the roaches arrive, and Dark is already droning behind this with the Lair on the way up as well, so a bit of pressure as the Banshee shows up. GuMiho's like, cool, I'm safe. There's nothing that's going to go wrong for me here. Banshee She will chase that Roach down, getting it pushed all the way down to the bottom. One Roach gets picked off. Again, the extra barracks will continue through. Again, stim pack, +1 attack coming through. The Banshee about to finish. A few more barracks on the way in. The engineering bay is also in production for now. As you have Evo chambers and the infestation pit continuing to get established for now as well. So we get ourselves into this real kind of next stage of the tech already from Dark, which is, hey, I want to get in towards Hive, maybe a couple of infestors, even depending on how exactly my setup is looking. Not really too surprising from Dark, I would say. And we get that infestation pit up, and we'll see what exactly the plan is. We did see from him earlier with Roaches, he would just move into the Hydras and the Lurkers, and that is very well what he could be doing right now as well, so that is a possibility for him. Did this on Golden Aura when they played in the earlier series, and I felt as though that was still a game which GuMiho had moments, and again, I think GuMiho's biggest issue throughout the earlier matches, again, just he was constantly in that position where he didn't quite have enough. He just didn't quite have enough control at all, so even though he had some better moments, it was hard for him to take advantage because Dark was constantly ahead on just creep spread and map control and bases. There's just nothing that kind of happened to kind of stop or slow Dark down, so let's see what GuMiho can do here is reducing a couple Banshees going after the hatch. I mean, so far, it's kind of looking similar. I mean, obviously, it's not really out of control yet. We're only 7 minutes in. We're kind of talking about much deeper in this game when you kind of start seeing Dark go to 6 bases, 7 bases unharassed. That's when it feels like the Zerg just has the endless bank, and if Dark is left to kind of take the trades on his own terms, he's pretty much going to find good enough fights to make the base advantage at that stage almost always be enough to get the job done. Like it then, still coming up then, the Hive continues through. +1 armor coming about, combat shield coming in as well. Roaches and Ravage is going to try and move down this ramp. The Marines and the siege tank are there, just ready to push around a little bit as well. It's going to go a bit back and forth. Again, the Groove Spine's coming in. It's going to have ourselves a Lurker Den coming up also. As we mentioned, we kind of know what this setup is going to be. It looks very akin to what we saw in that earlier match on Golden Auras. So into Lurkers, into Hydras. I think GuMiho builds tanks throughout. That was what looked scary from him, right? Having so many tanks available and, you know, just plausible to take part in the fight was kind of a big deal. So let's say we'll see if something comes of that, as we do have just a few drones drop down there. And a bit of the creep in the center knocked down as well. The Banshees come back in. They will lose one of their numbers. And now only one Banshee left. Roaches and the Ravage is going to knock through this set of rocks. Ooh, that was a bit of lag. The Korean server's not being our friends, guys. So I apologize. Again, there's only so much we can do in that regard. And the Korean server doesn't want to be our friend. I literally can't do anything about it. It's not the stream. It's not my internet. It's just our connection to Korea. Some games it's going to be okay. Some games it's going to be a bit crap. Do you see our Marines trying to just dive in here? The Roaches and Ravages with a few Hydras showing up. Will they have enough damage to actually fight these Marines off? Marines are out of medevac healing. None of the tanks involved in this fight, as we do see Marines counterattack on the right side as well. A few more units pushing through. The siege tank will go down. The Army of Dark, well, it gets rid of those tanks as well. An extra bonus after clearing up otherwise. Queen's still there to push the medevac away once again. +2 missiles, +2 carapace, again, both continuing up. The adaptive talents for the Lurkers also coming in, likely an important upgrade, as those Lurkers are now going to be able to be much more divey around the map and maybe able to take some positions to send Dark up in this game. Obviously looking to try and establish this series in a strong way. Win this game. You already had a 2-0 start. That winner bracket benefit will help you a lot. That's a big comeback necessary from GuMiho at that point. Especially when you would be essentially kind of like 0-4 against Dark on the day. Like, that's a big mental ditch to get yourself out of as well. So I do feel like this opening map is very important for GuMiho to kind of set the tone, set the precedent. Marines going to be forced to lift up right there. The medevacs have to evacuate away. And we will just see how Lurkers and all the rest backing up with the Vipers over here too. So we're going to get ready for the first possible push in, as we have the Lurkers all the way to the top side. fire comes in from the bottom. We're going to abduct the first siege tank forwards. We are going to have maybe a double kill on tanks there if we find the corrosive bile on them, but we do not just yet. Doesn't happen for now. Wings and a few hydras continue over the right as we do have the tank still set strong. Let's continue to fight from a distance. Again, more of those depots being knocked down. The hydra's trying to shut down the drop on the other side, and it's that little bit of a supply lead from Dark. 35 of it in army is seemingly starting to build up into a little bit extra. Just gonna see corrosive vials nearly getting rid of one of the siege tanks. We'll get it there. That's GG called, and Dark is gonna take game number 1 here. So he will take the 2-0 lead, most notably, and that is obviously a pretty darn big deal. So Dark is going to be off to the great start. He's going to be off to everything he wants in this grand final. But they're leading you into situations where you just can't take further advantage. You just can't do much else. When I say it's okay, I think it means that it's like, well, you can play like this, but it's not going to be great for you. Like, I think it is Dark advantage. Like, you know, I guess that's my, that's what I mean by being okay. Like, it's okay because the ideas are good, the ideas can work. In this last game, it wasn't brilliant, but you're still in a playable position. It's just the problem is Dark is so good in that playable position that it's going to be, you know, at that point you need to find a comeback. And that's where it's not okay for GuMiho, right? I think that's the big issue. That's why it's not okay for GuMiho, because GuMiho has not shown us the ability to kind of step up in those later stages and to be the kind of player to bring a game back, or to bring it, to turn it around later on. Catch gas and pool. Obviously gas this time from Dark compared to the previous game. We saw the no gas build once again. And that's a fairly common way of playing as of late. Just see our hatchery coming through. Our spawn and build coming up. As SCV pulls across. We'll drop a depot down on the side. And Korean server is really not our friend today, huh? It's just continuing to suck. Which really is sad for our finals, but again, apologies guys. Again, if you see those stutters, they are just our connection to the server. The players don't feel them. I don't know how it works, but just the players don't see it. It's just on our end, but it's not something I can fix. I can't just like increase my internet or something, you know, like it's just that connection to Korea. And sometimes, some days it's fine, some days it just isn't. Unfortunately, today is one of those days where it just isn't. How many / what percentage of series casted here will be uploaded on YouTube? Well, usually I upload to YouTube the videos I think that will do well on YouTube, which is usually the series between the big names that are not mirror matchups. I don't know about what percentage of the playoffs. I'll put it this way, I would probably not upload any of today's games. Maybe I would upload like the grand finals just for the fact it's the grand final, but today's games haven't been, like, the thing with the YouTube is we're almost always behind on YouTube uploads, so we really have the luxury of picking out the best games for YouTube with, like, the best names. Today hasn't been it. You know, the games today, even, like, you know, even if you write Clem Max Packs in the title, you put that Clem Max Pack series up, I feel like we may as well just put something else up, you know? Unless I get really desperate for matches, which might happen over the course of Katowice. I should put Max Pack's GuMiho Game 3 up as a YouTube short. Yeah. Yeah. Ow. You should sub for the replay pack. You can also just watch the Twitch VOD if Twitch VODs are available too, unless you really hate Twitch VOD. But yes, there will be a replay pack coming in the next few days for subs. So I mean, you don't have to subscribe to watch the games back again though, unless you yeah. I mean, it depends what you want to do. I know the Twitch VOD player is not exactly the best. I had to watch something on the Twitch VODs earlier today that I wanted to watch. As the VOD expires. VOD should be up for like at least 60 to 90 days though, no? I don't even know how long Twitch saves my VODs for. Actually, I'm clueless. This is something I actually don't know. I know they changed stuff about that, but I never really paid attention to it. I'm gonna see how far back my Twitch VODs go. No, my videos go back to like 2 months ago. I think it's like 60 days. Yeah, I think it's like 60 days that the VODs get saved for. So Wriggleston, thank you for the 21-month resub, by the way. Appreciate it, as we get a few Hellions going to try and dive by. But the Queens are there and decides not to go for it, so that is not going to go anywhere at all. The Hellions end up turning back away. I do see double Evo Chamber going down in this main base from Dark, so we get that up and running. Hellions dive through, a couple of drones starting to get picked away at. The Queens are going to be there. We just have ourselves the Bane that's about to finish up. Evo Chamber still coming through. Drones and Overlords continue to produce as well. And the Queens get back across to just shove that Viking out of the main base. Nicely done. Viking actually lands to get a creep tumor. It's going to take a few shots. I don't think you actually hate that as Dark. It's like, well, I got the Viking to half HP and lower for the cost of one creep tumor on the very edge of my base. I think you're kind of fine about it. Melee upgrades continue through. The Baneling speed begins. We just have ourselves the 1-1 upgrades and the stim pack all coming through as well. So again, a bit of everything on the way right now. The Banshees continue over. We're just going to see one drone getting picked off. Another drone going down as well. The Banshees into the mineral line. Going to try and find some extra workers. And again, damage being done. So far, so good. Banshees continue away. And again, 1-1. Baneling speed. Bit of that, all that coming out right now. The Banshees will activate and again try and pick away at this hatchery. So Hatch taking some more shots. Going to be going down very soon. Queen is going to be there. The Banshee coming up. Pushed away. And again, see now melee upgrades coming through as well. That Boa and the Baneling speed continue out. Push forward is just going to have a creep taking a few more shots as well, so a little bit more damage done. Just going to see how Hellions trying to fight. Queen's still taking some damage into the Banshee going down. Ling's going to counterattack up to the top side. Dog going to dive straight onto that third base. Well, GuMiho pushing, and GuMiho has a bit of momentum on his side. The Hellbat's trying to help lead this charge forward. The counterattack is huge. I mean, Dark is moments away from melee upgrades. Extra Bane's trying to morph in. This attack to GuMiho is being stopped right here. Couple connections going off, and the Lings on the other side doing so much. The Banes are going to finish. Those Marines are going to have to run away. Burrow about to come up from Dark as well. Something that might help him out eventually as these Banes will just clean up these last Marines. The Lings on the other side are still on the go. 10 SCVs go down. Dark swings the supply back into his favor. Slightly, but still taking some damage. That's GuMiho. Well, I'm a little worried for him actually right now, as Dark also has Burrow, which is a really good tool if your opponent's in a little bit of a scrappy spot, which we're kind of getting to. GuMiho's going to start fourth base, so he's going to play the longer game. I see the Lings trying to run up over here. They're going to get in. That's a surround on these units. The Widowmines, though, might be able to cause some trouble. Widowmines go off, blowing up some of the Marines. I mean, at least force the Lings to turn around the other way. SCVs are being forced back over here. A couple of Banes are going to go. Burrow on the third. If GuMiho's not watching that, which he might not be, he's busy, right, defending, then those Banelings could be deadly as well. There is going to be the Widowmine drop on the other side. That unloads right now, and that's going to be a connection as Dark's not watching. He's going to lose one. The other Widowmine not burrowing. There's Banelings burrowed here. We scan, but I feel like that scan's going to expire before the Banelings die, no? Oh, no. Alright, well, we still do see the two Banes over there. If these SCVs return to that base, that would be disastrous, but we're just going to say GG. Dark is going to go up to 3-0, and we are a map away from rounding out the WardiTV 2023 Championship. It's been going. Alright. Ladies and gents, it's time to send your power, love, hype, hope, anything to the Red Terran in the bottom right corner of Hardlad. Can he Bring it back. Can he give us a grand final? Or is this one already settled? In the bottom right corner, GuMiho needs to win 4 in a row if he wants to double his prize money from $1,750 to $3,500 for winning this event. Dark is one map away. Dark, who has been grinding all year. He's been, I say all year, obviously this was the 2023 championship, so now 2023 season. All year long, Dark has accepted every tournament invite. He's been playing in absolutely everything he can. He has just been grinding away. He's been part of everything we've basically put on. He has been the consistent Zerg presence in our tournaments when we've been missing it in every other tournament. So I couldn't think of a more deserving winner because, like, he really did show up and play in pretty much everything and anything that we did this year. So it's kind of fitting if Dark wins. I just want to see him sweat for it a little bit in today's grand final. And to be fair, that was not an easy game. Don't get me wrong. That was not an easy game. It's just, could we have a cool game where actually the result goes the other way, right? Like, I guess the individual games are not bad. It's just the fact that they keep having the same result is kind of taking the shine off them a little bit as well, right? So, let's see what happens as we go. For the low ground racks, we're going to open with the Reapers. Dark has got a gas down, noteworthy, because of course we've seen some of those gasless builds as well lately. Two Queens, few Lings, just building up. A couple of Reapers on the way. Got ourselves a first Reaper heading across to the upper left-hand side, so on a little bit of a journey to the top. We'll be having ourselves the other Reaper coming around very soon, and we'll see how this Reaper harass goes. We'll see how successful it may be. Yo, Hassa, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 45-month resub on the Prime. Welcome back. You see a Reaper coming in. Drone going to get cancelled up. The few Lings are going to come around, and that Reaper taking quite a few shots. Just seeing now, again, Link Speed coming by with a couple of Reapers still coming through as well. A little bit of everything on the way there. Well, again, a few moments of getting ready. Reaper's going to try and fight. The Queens are going to be there, ready to push those Reapers away again. Hansen is still coming up, actually on the way out. As well, fight against a couple of those Lings. So again, just getting a little bit of damage done. Find a little bit of a solution there. Reapers are going to come back around. Just going to be heading back down the low grounds. That's 4 of them. And so far, no third hatchery allowed as well. So this is better for GuMiho than the last time he tried to open with this Reaper aggression. Last time around, he was not able to deny the third hatchery. And he got what? Like, it was like 2 Lings and a drone or something. Or 2 drones and like a Ling. It wasn't a lot. It was very minimal. This time, even just keeping Dark off the third hatch, I would say, is much more of a win than getting any sort of kills. So I would say that that part of it's looking pretty decent as our Lings go back around the right side. Stimpack coming through, Command Center coming up, and get that on the way. And a few more drones and the Queen continuing out as well. The hatchery still coming about. And the Lings just getting over there. Reapers are going to be backing it up for a few moments. SCVs and Hellions, the Stimpack, and a little bit of everything on the way up just for now. We got our units just gathering it up once again and joined together. And a couple of Overlords on the way through. Queen also building. Reaper Hellion makes its way up the left-hand side. Do pick off a single Zergling, it's just going to knock that down immediately as well. Well, Reapers again trying to find some luck, trying to find some fortune up in this main base, but so far we'll be unable to. And that continues. Yeah, Lings produce. And our stem is again just going to be finishing very shortly. That's going to give GuMiho some aggressive opportunities. The Hellions poking around at the front as well, looking for their chances to get something done here. And the Hellions with the Reapers as a follow-up is something you don't see every game nowadays, so that's a little bit different in itself as well. And plenty of Reaper Hellions in the center, going to come by on that creep. Grenade will go down, push the Queens back a little bit there, and the Queens will be shoved away. The few Zerglings Starting to come through, get ready to defend. The Hellions back away over the left-hand side, so again, falling away from this. Combat shield coming through, the couple of medevacs in production. And again, our melee upgrades on the way up from Dark. Our Baneling Nest is about to finish. Hellions, Reapers, a couple of medevacs load up into the sky is going to come across as well. So to make our way over again, medevacs come around here. Hellions and Reapers continue to get settled. It's going to be seeing a few Marines unloading. Overlord's going to take some damage also, and we do have GuMiho with a little bit of a push up into this high ground. Baneling Nest is not going to have Baneling speed finished. The melee upgrades are not done just yet, and this is maybe the best opportunity we've seen GuMiho have all day to do some real serious damage to Dark and to put himself in a real good, serious position. Continue to press up, but Ling Bane backs off one more time. One more grenades going down, still seeing some shots coming through. Queen's firing. Just going to see our Marines again getting a bit of cleanup right there. In the end, Dark is going to hold this off, and we do progress forwards. There's a hydrogen coming down as well. It's a slog for Dark right now to get towards those hydras, but he's progressing towards it. He's getting there slowly but surely. That has to be, for the moment, just the goal for him is and that hydrogen coming up, about halfway done currently. Melee upgrades and the Bane speed about to be wrapping up as well. Actually going to dive in there. We actually get a little bit of a surround, and GuMiho takes a little bit of a blast. And does get pushed away. He gets his third established during all of this, so utilizing the map control has a chance to create himself a further advantage. Gets that set up. And the Ling Bane just gathering back over the left side too for the moment. Going to step up, and they're going to get rid of a few Crypt Tumors as well, so a little bit more going down as we push on forwards. The 1-1 upgrade's about to finish from GuMiho, so Dark's upgrades are in the lead, and that will continue through to the 2-2 upgrades that are on the way right now as well. So that is going to continue by. And still stimming it up, and we do have, again, the third base having to be lifted off, so CV's going down. GuMiho's position here now feels quite important, as Dark has money to spend, by the way. If he spent that cash, that'd be great. Obviously, cash becomes easier to spend once you get to the point of building Hydras. You can see it disappears very quickly, in fact. Spends all of it all at once right now. As the Lings will continue through, the Rocks will continue to take big damage. So you're going to see our Marines coming up. A couple of these Banes are going to be chased. The Marines are going to get crashed into. Going to be seeing the 5 coming up as well. Adrenaline Claw's coming about. Our Medevacs and Marines pulling back again. Queen's going to fire up. A couple more Balins coming through. Our tank behind the rocks. At least a good position from Gumi. As Dark again continues to get to where I think we just know Dark loves to be. Hydras and potentially Lurkers and all that wonderful stuff. Hydras and Lings and the Banes continue through, so away they go. Medevacs pull back here. Again, the Hive coming up. 30 more Lings, plus 2 melee, plus 2 Carapace, all coming through. A bit more of that group spread still coming out as well, as you do have the factory building up. Two more barracks on the way. Marines again continue around the left-hand side. A couple of Vipers setting up once again. Adrenal Glands, 2-2 melee upgrades coming by. The Lurker Den coming up also. Our Medevacs will still push up the left side, so they're going to go in to the main very shortly here. All units around the far right. And the Medevacs just unloading into the main base for the moment. In we go. Marines dropping by. The Queen's going to start taking some shots. The station bit will begin to take some extra damage too. Widowmine's going to fire up. Ling's taking damage. But I feel like generally Dark has enough there. We'll see how the follow-through goes. We're fighting on the right side as well, cleaning up this drop. I'll tell you what, we're starting to see that supply gap open a little bit as Dark approaches the max out. GuMiho just trails ever so slightly at the moment. Holding Bane getting set up. Feeling's going to run over on the left. We do have the 3-3 obviously start as well on the side of GuMiho. Tanks are going to siege. Feeling's getting blasted. Just going to have ourselves the Bane still getting pushed back a little. See, I wouldn't mind still burrowing. Again, +1 missiles from no plans, all building for now. See another Widowmine shot and a couple more Banes, and we just got our Lings running through. Going to get those Marines as well. Mine's still firing up a bit of a storm. As we see again, our missile upgrade, our seismic spines, building and building. +2 Capres upgrade still coming by. See these tanks in a good position, but then the Blind Cloud comes down, then the tanks cannot do anywhere near as much as they were once finding for themselves, so good little Blinding Cloud, gonna try and get rid of this other one. Does get one more shot off, but still, it is a cleanup from Dark, and again, with Vipers out, it's just a little bit more efficiency he can find throughout the course of these battles, in these trades. And of course, if Dark can trade efficiently, he's gonna be in a great spot. Resource loss is actually favoring Dark right now, so that's not where it's meant to be for a TVZ. It's meant to be kind of the other way around, and even then we kind of be like, oh, it's only just favoring GuMiho? That's not great. So yeah, it's not exactly ideal, and especially in a game where Dark's been tacking up as well. So it's like Dark is just getting to a better and better force as his army improves. Is GuMiho going to be able to plane away? Does not really feel like it. Parasitic Bomb going down. All these units getting caught in the corner, and Dark getting a good catch. May not be able to chase through to the Planetary Fortress, but you can just see that he is having an absolute field day at the moment. He's going to be trying to fight one more time, and, well, again, a maxed out Zerg against a 165 supply Terror, and there's a bit of money in the bank from both, but obviously that means that GuMiho needs to spend it. Dark is building up, ready for the rebuild whenever they do take a larger fight. And once more, GuMiho just on the map. These units always seem like they're missing HP, they're low on L health. And try and drop a couple of the medevacs of units away to the top side instead, but hard to really be hopeful about that as Dark continues his pressure, continues to push through, jumping onto these locations. 9 SCVs going down, but as Dark continues to swarm, I'm just not sure GuMiho has any real counter to come through. Dark, can he really just break him right here and now? It may just be the case. It may be enough. And it is indeed. Dark with the 4-0. Is going to be your WardiTV 2023 champion. Dark shuts down GuMiho completely on the day.